What's good with YouTube? You already know, Big Flocko with the Convicts Reaction, where I smash, dash, and react. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel, and hit that bell notification for future fire reactions. Well, finally, I watched the podcast, man, where there was some discussions and dialogue, and even though it was amongst other Southsiders, it showed that they do have the potential to have discussions outside of just attacking the North and whatnot. And it was the one with Compa. Now, immediately upon the first 10 minutes, Compa basically defended Lazy Boy. Not in the sense that, he's like, oh, 100% has his back and all this stuff. No, he kept it real. He kept it 100 like he's supposed to. And said that even after Lefty Gunplay, who had gone on No Jumper and had said, fuck the other side, right? He said Lazy Boy did not attack anybody from the other side, nor did Lazy Boy even attack Lefty Gunplay. It wasn't until Lefty Gunplay actually made those remarks on another video that Lazy Boy finally clapped back. That, you have to 100% respect, man. Because you know what? It's not too often that you get people that are from the opposite side, whether they're active or inactive, that are going to side, not really side, but show everybody a point of view that other peoples aren't looking at. Sometimes people are clouded by their own affiliations and associations that it's easy and quick for them just to naturally, attack people like Lazy Boy and bands and whatnot before they even do anything. And, Compa just kept it 100. And even at the end of the interview, North Daniel called in from San Jose and said, that he respected Compa, his get down, enjoyed it, and even showed respect towards Blue Devil. And even Blue Devil was kind of appreciative of the dude coming at him with respect. And that's what it all comes down to, respect. Respect. No matter what. We're all human beings. We're all individuals. There's no reason just to attack people, And, right there it kind of showed me that Blue Devil has the potential to, when he feels he's being shown the respect, to give it in return. Now, he said one thing, and it's true. He said, you take care of your own first. Southsiders first, of course, which I would have to agree. You're always going to be more biased or aligned with your people. And what I mean by people, those that you affiliate with, associate with, and that you represent the same fucking flag. So that's the kind of shit that when I listen to Blue Devil and his reactions, that I can respect. I don't have to sit there and critique. So I think that he was getting too far ahead of allowing his reactions to come based upon those that he associated himself with and those that he wanted to push their narrative. Lefty Gunplay, of course. Now, if he just beats himself and just keeps it 100, whether people like it or not, there's no room to fucking attack the dude. You know what I'm saying? But Compa, man, I gotta respect him though, man, because he came out basically swinging at the fences. Regardless of what people were going to think or say about him, he said what he needed to say. Supported his boss, Adam 22, while at the same time still supporting his boys, the Double S car. There's no doubt about it. He represents the South Side, and he's not ashamed to say it. His people are always going to come first and foremost, but he's not going to just fucking take shots or belittle or put people down just because they're not a South Side. He's looking at everybody on a equal playing field as men. Up until this point, I really didn't know what to think of Compa, right? Because I remember he was doing a talk podcast with Swifty Blue. And I knew he was funny. But the ones where he was in the early stages of No Jumper, he was getting way too fucking drunk. And he was just making a fool of himself, man. So I guess he's hopefully over that bender. And he says he's going to be bringing the best type of podcast work that we've ever seen. And even though I'm not a big supporter of a lot of people on No Jumper, right, I will support what Compa does because I respected his get down and how he addressed that, man. He didn't have to do that. He knows he's going to have people that are going to have opinions on that, but still, he spoke the truth. And like he said, he wants all of Raza to succeed, everybody. There's enough money for everybody to be made. And he's the only one that I've seen that has focused his whole ideals and concept around that. Let's make money. Fuck war, fuck battling each other, fuck worrying about what the other side does. We can all get this cheddar. And you got to respect that type of fucking motivation and the seeds that he's planting in other individuals because they're hearing what he has to say. The last 2 months there's been 2 to 3 months, shit, 6 months, there's been a lot of drama, and I've witnessed it. I partook a little bit in it, but nothing really major. I did my little rap diss track just for fun yesterday, just to make a point that I could do a track like in 15 minutes, like it was nothing, right? But sometimes we get carried away in our own emotions at times, just because, hey, we all do have egos, and that's just the truth. And there's going to be those that are going to put people in a situation where they feel that they have to respond or clap back. And I noticed that a lot of times with the South Side, that the reason they clap back a little bit more than anybody from up north is that they have more liberty to speak, as opposed to Northerners have to be watchful for what they say. The only Northerners you're really going to hear speaking about shit is going to be the ones that are not active. Those are facts. So what I used to like about the other individual, what Blue Devil, was this: that in the beginning he was tapped in with everybody, but he never took any sides. If it didn't concern him, he didn't give a fuck about it. But he was always going to voice his opinion. Therefore, a lot of people respected what he used to say, until he started pushing narratives of, aligning with certain people, and then basing his opinion upon that. That's just my personal opinion. I like the hater world that sticks to the script of who he is and just doesn't care who he criticizes, man. I do think that more people would be able to gravitate more towards someone like Compa Raider than someone like American Cholo or even Hoodstocks. As far as any Northerner to get on a podcast, I think eventually it needs to happen, but it doesn't need to happen with someone that's not, not with the streets, not representing like that. Someone that really knows, been to prison, knows the intricate details. I think that would be kind of a, cool interview that could particularly take place in the future, hopefully, man. And that could open doors to money. And that's what everybody's looking at this. And I think that's why a lot of individuals from the North are being given the opportunity to tap in where in the past they wouldn't tap in. It's opening doors up for money. The more I watch a lot of these different podcasters, right? The more I see them kind of more like us than different. I seen that when I was in prison before too, when I was not sold up, when I was in the same pods with, well-known MMA members and camaradas that really had palabra and respect in the system at that time, in the validated blocks. And I used to chop up a lot of these different cats, That was something that we used to do in the walk-alone cages. You never knew who was going to be in front of you. You would sit there and show your respects and, kind of get to know the same person that's maybe in your pod or in another pod. And after years and years of doing this, you start to look at people no different than your own. Because, they like the same things. They like to fucking drink their pisto, granasadas, fucking lowriders back in the days, and popping at high nuts and all the same shit that we did as kids and young adults. And in watching some of these podcasts, you can see the same type of similarities. Outside of them, when they start to talk about fucking dissing the North or just super Southsiders, then that kind of can turn people away. But other than that, man, their everyday content, man, is shit that fucking a lot of us can relate to. Now, I've said it before, I don't like lefty gunplay. I know all of LA, is behind them, but they're behind the wrong dude. That's my personal opinion. Look how he acted with that fucking chick. You know what I'm saying? And there's been, there's been times where he was tested and he didn't pass the test in my eyes. You know what I mean? And I don't care for Bozo. And we already know he's always attacked the North, and he always has a lot to say about the North. And he thinks of himself as superior to anybody that's from Northern California. Who would ever think in my lifetime would I ever see people from the opposition side disrespect not just the homies, but the big homies in general? That's like something I never thought I'd ever see. And we've been witnessing that lately. So when I go after those cats, even did a little fun diss track yesterday, right? It's nothing personal against the South Side. It's against them. They just happen to be Southsiders who misrepresent themselves all the time. And that's all it is. I talk to a lot of Southsiders. You don't see me going in after, every Southsider that, is doing this thing or doing his music. Nah, a lot of them I support, from a distance, because I think everybody can succeed and win. And the more people who succeed and win, the less of us that are out there in the streets, and the more opportunities the future have in seeing what people are doing now. Anyways, this is my reaction, Convict's reaction. Your boy Flacco. I'm gone.